Welcome back to the scene with your boy Rebel. Your boy Rebel now officially back on the scene. And today we are I'm bringing you a brand new 175 power level build for your boy Ironman. And like I said, these builds are not final. They are not the ultimate perfect OP builds that I've been seeing. A lot of people that do those builds, they do it for showcasing off gear, certain perks, cryo leak, shock leak, vibranium leak, this leak, that leak. These type of builds that I have are mission ready builds, raid ready builds, OOT ready builds. They can pretty much survive. They can survive any mission. You can switch up gear pieces. There's not a finalized build for any of my builds. Let me clarify that. And the reason why is because there's always new gear. There's always new ways of handling situations. There's new things you can add to your build. So just be advised when I say a build, is what I'm using for the time for that certain build. And I name it a certain way because I'm a comic book fan. I'm a big comic book dude. I love anything Marvel, MCU, DC, anime. So that's pretty much it. So let me give a shout out to my boy Yardrat. And give a shout out to my boy Kahar. And let me give a shout out to my boy uh, Rax. They do a good job. Especially let me give a shout out to my boy Noctober. He does his thing. I like the way he does his videos. So let me give a shout out to my boy Noctober straight up and down. But so far, like I say, Iron Man is I'm proud of him. I'm able to use certain gear for certain situations. So let me go ahead and get off into it. As you can see, power level 175, Iron Man nameplate 068 with the Marvel Studio Avengers Infinity War. I love this outfit. It's better than the in-game one personally. The paparazzi, I have that for the emote. I am rocking the Catch Some Rays, and I'm also having to keep an eye on the prize. So let's go ahead and get off into it. The gear piece I'm using for his melee, mainly, I haven't switched it up, and I will sometime depending on what I have to do, is the Discord Muon Gloves, Elite, Precision, Valor, and Resilience. Those are my 3 hero stats. Like I say, some gear that you get, especially the Elite gear, towards the end, 165, it only has 2. So I've kept, this is old Elite gear that I just upgraded. So you can definitely upgrade your gear. You don't have to get rid of it. Be careful because some gear has perks that you will never see again, or you'll be on a different gear, or the stats will be different. So just be careful what you're deleting. It has precision, valor, and resilience on it. Nice piece. Not too much caring about might. I get that in other areas, and I'm actually happy I increased it. The perks on it is 21% chance increased damage for all laser attacks, light and signature attacks deal vibranium with the light combo finishers vibranium. Hulkbuster Breaker is 20% increased damage from Hulkbuster. So I like that. That's nice gear, nice perks, nice stats. It's a 5-star piece. All exotics are 5-star pieces. I haven't seen one less than 5. Sometimes I'll switch it up for battery effect if I want to. This is the same exact piece except for the last one. Last perk has the increases the chance of staggering the enemy with the active sonic status effect. Still has valor, precision, and resilience. Like I say, vibranium is a positive effect. So if I want to add positive effect and do a battery effect, what I would do is use my signature attack, which is he goes up in the air, slams the ground, he spreads the vibranium, and I can use my lasers, repulsor rays, and or rockets to do a battery effect. So I'm going to finish upgrading a couple other pieces that I want to use. Mainly you do for perks. If you're doing a build, make sure you're not doing it just based off of your hero stats or your perks. See what you want to do. This piece right here, I'm using it mainly for both perks and heroic stats. So it's a plus plus. It's a win-win. This one right here. Now, Centurion's Mark, y'all know how I am with Roman numeral. X3 Muon Array. Now, as you can see, I have 3 gear pieces. Is 165 already. I want to upgrade this one. And I think it's going to be a good piece when it's upgraded. It has a Tachyon, targeted Tachyon Surge on it. I want to upgrade this piece as well. It's going to be a real good piece when upgraded. I was going to sacrifice this one, but I realized it has rockets and repulsors. So I don't want to do that. And this does have stun damage from Hulkbuster 24% and increase the duration of Hulkbuster by 8.5%, but it just does lasers. So I definitely want to have lasers and missiles. Rockets, if you want to say, if you want to be technical about it. So I'm going to upgrade it and switch it between these two. That's how you, like I say, your builds are not permanent. You can switch in between gear pieces for different situations. And with these right here, Depending on what I'm fighting or what I have going on, so as you see, I have a positive on my range and I have a positive on my melee. So I want to switch it up. The only negative I have is this one, and the perks on this one is perfect. 41% chance range critical attacks grants an intrinsic burst buff that regenerates intrinsic energy while active, so I can basically spam my laser for a long period of time if I want to hold it down. It deals with rocket sonic damage, and it has a heroic charge burst of 25.5% by hitting the enemy in a weak point. The stats on the precision, proficiency, and intensity. Excuse me, y'all. 78, 78, 79 is not great. 4-star piece. This one right here is what I mainly use due to the fact of the increase in valor and might. And I definitely like the fact that when you increase your valor, like I say, is hero effectiveness overall, how effective your hero is, and put it in them terms. It does wonders. So I switch in between these two just depending on what I need to do. You know what I'm saying? Gear swapping is unfortunately what we have to do because we never did get a proper loadout screen where we can just choose that type of build for that mission or switch out if you need to switch out. Don't know how they would have did it, how I would have did it before a mission starts. You choose the build loadout screen you want, you choose it. And you can still switch pieces, but overall, it's what you start off with. You know, it's the same thing as this one. It's just I guess they figured they couldn't map it right, but that's just another debacle from Crystal Dynamics and Square Enix. So for the purpose of this video, like I say, I really use this one. I switched it up. I do use this one a lot because it's a perfect piece. It's plasma, stun damage. It's great against claw, especially with the laser. You know what I'm saying? So it does great damage, great stun damage as well. But I can switch in between anytime I want to. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do this one right here. So we're gonna just deal with it at the time. I think I'm gonna do this. Let me see. Mm, mm, well, you know what? Y'all seen this one before. Y'all seen this one. I know y'all seen that one, but we'll just stick with the Sonic one at the time, due to the perks on it, and we're going to use it effectively. The Discord Shielding Elite. This is a defensive piece, resilience, precision, and valor. As you can see, I've had precision on all my pieces because this is a ranged build for Iron Man. I haven't seen a might build for Iron Man. I've seen a high valor build with second being range. I've seen tank builds, but I also seen glass cannon with full out range and full out valor and no resilience, no resolve. So that's not how I rock with my characters. I have to have them equally balanced or fairly balanced in that way. I use this mainly for the heroic stats. Top right hand corner, 85, 89, 85 with resilience, precision, and valor, rolling in the same sequence as the numbers I called out. I have the second perk, which I like the best, is a 25% additional impact bonus for any attack against the enemy afflicted with vibranium status. Now, being that I could use this one, the reverberation, the breaker perk, I'm going to say that one. It has the valor and precision on it. Does take away from my defense overall, but it has the additional damage, 25% additional damage inflicted by any active vibranium status. So I was to equip this, upgrade it first, and equip either the laser or this right here, the rockets or repulsor rays. So much damage I could do, and that's why I'm saying I'm not done yet. This is just your standardized 175 build. You know, the IronPrime build. So that's pretty much what this is about. But for the purpose of this video, as of right now, I'm using these three that I've upgraded. In the future, you know, before Jane gets here, this will be done, that'll be done. I like this one for the laser, that'll be done. You know, I have cryo, so definitely want to upgrade these just to see what that's going to be like, just to play around with it. Of course, you have the Granite Sonic Vibranium Safeguard perk. That's a Sonic Conduit for those who don't know. Increased damage by 50% while sending Sonic Conduit to other heroes. And then for my last heroic piece, I have the Centron's Mark XV Quantum Reactor. Valor Resolve and Precision. Hulkbuster Breaker. That's a 20% increase in all damage dealt while wearing Hulkbuster armor. Check this out. What that said at the bottom? 20% increased damage from Hulkbuster. So that's 40% increased damage. And yes, they do stack. They don't go against each other. Ultimate Assistance. 18% increased heroic energy regeneration for the ultimate heroic ability. And a Rampant Assistance. 2.2% increase heroic rate charge while overcharged. So I know somebody mentioned this before. I think it was my boy R Jody. R Jordy. Basically, he did say if you have this piece, keep it because you're not going to find these perks with those stats ever again. They switched it up. They renamed it something else. So you look at the name, the quantum reactor. As you can see, you can look for it somewhere else, but the perks are not the same. They're not going to be on any other gear piece. This one was back way back. This is back before Spider-Man dropped. So I've had it. I just stashed it and I pulled it back out. So I'm glad to have it. My minor artifacts. So I was gonna have triple. I could have had my precision could be off the chain, but it's not. So my precision, valor, and proficiency is on this prismatic ISO 8, 64, 56, 57. I use it for the Apex boom. Really don't care too much about the first perk. That's a 5.0% increased critical chance for signature attacks. As you can see, I have other perks down here I could use, but it takes away from what I'm trying to do with my build. And I do not want to take away from it as of right now. If I was to get some more gear pieces that could boost this and I can take a percentage down and it'll level back out or increase it, I will. But for the most part, it's not helping my build at all. As you can see, I have been to the raid a lot. A lot, a lot. Now this is my triple precision piece. I wish it was 64 at the top. That pretty much would put me where I want to be, which is 600 precision, but it doesn't. Mainly use it for just the heroic stats at the top right hand corner, which is 10.6% increased damage from sprint and evade attacks. That's the Dauntless Breaker. Whatever. And of course, the major artifact I'm rocking is the Tactagon because I'm using a lot of statuses. I did upgrade this piece eventually, but you know, it takes away from my heroic and melee, which would be valor and might. Let's go ahead and go to the skills. Skills have not changed as much. Only thing has changed is this right here. I did use the Omega Beam. I switched it up. It does do more damage, but you have to make sure you aim it right and have them lined up and mow them down. Now the arc field. For those who playing as Iron Man, you're playing with a team. Your defensive shield, the arc field frequency modifications reflect projectiles back at enemies who launch them. Requires the use of arc field. I have that right. So the arc field generates one directional protective bubble that blocks incoming projectile, but also range attacks from inside the bubble to pass through, damaging enemies outside the arc. This interferes with your teammates' projectile weapons or energy blasts, or wherever they're doing projectile. If it's in the way, they can't get past it. So you can use this one, which is the EMP. Use arc overload triggers an electronic magnetic pulse, which deals considerable stun damage to all nearby enemies. That's to me perfectly. I would use this one if you don't want to interfere with your teammates. And of course, you have this one. Increases the range and intensity of the electromagnetic pulse shockwave by 30%. Requires use of EMP ability. So this right here is for you solo don't on a mission, you soloing, and you don't want projectiles to hit you. Some like the sonic enemies on the claw raid, they can bypass these two right here. The defensive shield, even when these two are activated. I mean, even if two are equipped and you activate that support heroic, they go right through it. Everything else is not going to get through it. Lasers not going to get through it, nothing like that. But the sonic affected echoes and the rhinos and all that good stuff, they can get past your shield. These right here, I would recommend these two, EMP amplifier and the EMP. Like I said, I did have this one on, which is I hold it down, increase the maximum unit beam duration by 3%, allowing it for greater damage output, but I switched to this one. It has high damage, high impact, high stun, and they fly back for the reaction for the enemies. They do fly back, and it breaks guard, so it's perfect. Energy condenser. Enemy defeated by unit beam will drop a heroic orb. Definitely want that. Disruption pulse. This pulse right here is good against claw. Has high stun damage. For those who don't know, a little cheese. If you place your Hogbuster down and somebody gets into it, they can use the pulse, I think, 3 or 4 times. On that 4th time, if you activate your arc overload, it recharges up the Hogbuster, and they can keep on stunning him to get that stun meter up quick so you can go back into the phase where you can do damage to him with the anti-metal equipped. And this is for the raid. So if I want to go, let's say I'm doing missiles. So that's basically what I'm doing. So I would switch this up before I go to the raid. I set everything up. I would equip this right here for the raid. But for purposes of regular missions other than the raid, I'm using the Magno Missile Barrage. Targets up to 8 enemies. So definitely want to have that. Energy Star reduces the intrinsic energy cost by 25% for actions or attacks while using Hulkbuster. Definitely want to keep using it for as long as possible. We have the Air Combat Mastery boost and critical attack damage done while air juggling opponents by 15%. So, you know, enemies up in the air, they're floating, the ones use jetpacks or your Magneto ones, telekinesis ones. You know, you start hitting them and they start juggling in the air, and the quicker you hit them, the more damage you're doing. Like I said, increase the damage of all combo finishes by 25%, mainly for melee. You know, stun damage. Increases all stun damage dealt to enemies by 15%. This is if you don't have any intensity, which is your status stun meter. You can equip this, but like I say, it's a melee specialization, so be careful with that. Heroic takedown. You know, I get my Yorbs from this. Shout out to my boy Doom. Critical expertise. Increases critical damage by 50% for all range attacks. I could do this one. Increases all range attack damage by 15%. That'd be my base, which is right here. This is my base. But this is for critical. Those are the yellow numbers that pop up, so be careful. Everything is laid out for rockets. Rocket mastery. Increases damage for all rockets. Rocket specialization. Adds target guidance system to basic aim rockets. And you have the rocket efficiency. Decreases the intrinsic cost for rocket attacks by 10%. Now, me going using that laser, the gear piece for laser for vibranium, I would definitely switch it up and use this. Basically, I would just go to use this. I will switch it up and use that. Reduces the intrinsic cost using the aim fire for a laser weapon by 10%. I will switch to this one as well. I see that. And then we have the for laser, decrease the intrinsic cost for laser attacks by 10%. So basically, for laser-based builds or repulsor-based builds, you just equip all three across the board, depending on which one you're doing. Arc reactor generator increases the base regeneration speed of intrinsic cost by 10%. I have the overcharge duration boost, increasing the duration of overcharge state by 2% or 2 seconds. Overcharge damage boost, increase the damage for all attacks while overcharged by 12.5%. It's definitely a big must. Like I said, nothing changed the most, but this is what I have equipped so far. Add shock damage to energy pulse ability. You're going to need that energy pulse skill unlocked in order to do it. The tactical barrier, heroes near the energy barrier gain a 15% critical chance on all attacks. Now, you can use this reflective barrier. The energy barrier reflects projectiles back at the attacker. Or you can use this one. Regenerates 5% per second of intrinsic energy of heroes near the energy barrier. Requires the energy barrier skill to be unlocked. Like I said, you have different things you can do. This one right here has the reduces the cost of the energy shield. And this one has the grants 15%, 15 intrinsic energy points when parry enemies attacks with the energy pulse activated. This one right here is just basically like flares like you did in the first Iron Man. And then you have this one was the afterburner. You know, if you don't mind using your intrinsic up, get there a little bit faster. I like to use mine for increase the damage of all range attacks while flying by 15%. So definitely like that one. I've been working on Iron Man just a little bit, you know, champion level 126. So I'm getting there. I definitely want to max this out, the range one. Even though my boy Sadai said don't do nothing, I still want to do it. That one as well. Definitely these two. I maxed this out. It's just crazy. And the 1% right here. That's all you're going to get is 1%. It's crazy. Because you go from 1% all the way down. Yeah, I can activate the perks a little bit more. Don't mind doing that. And of course your health. It just it adds to these numbers, not your hero stats that you click over. Hero stats. So I have 10% might. Like I said, let me do it like this, y'all. So if I was to equip this, I'll have 98 might, 593 precision, 57 proficiency. Proficiency is too low. I don't like that. So that's why I switched back and put it here. Like I said, depends on the mission, what I want to do. But for the most part, I've seen with the critical chance, it's still going to activate because Iron Man's missiles, lasers, or repulsors always hit a critical area on their enemy. But for the purpose of this video, I'm gonna switch between these two just to show these off a little bit more. But you have your 10 might, precision is 583. Like I said, I did have it at 593, so I can go higher if I choose to. Proficiency is at 135. Valor is at 323. The higher your valor, like I said, hero effectiveness is 410. Resolve is at 85. Resilience is at 171. So I have more armor than I do actual maximum willpower. So I can take a couple of hits, not a lot of hits. If I go back to this one, it's the same thing, but I just get intensity, which would be 79, which is stun status meter damage is at 67.1%, and status resistance is at 40.5. Ultimate heroic doesn't change; it's 32.8% with assault and support at 14.8%. So this depends on what I want to do at the time for this build. The most effective and highest numbers I get is with this piece right here. So I'm going to show this off because, like I say, it's the highest I get, and I still have some armor. Only thing I'm worried about is my critical chance so far as number wise, but I know for a fact I'm still going to do some damage, so I'm not worried about it too much. The enemies I'm about to face, though, I might switch back to this depending on what my mood is and how it works out. I know the Hulk video I cut out on it. Like I said, I'm gonna try this again. I don't know if it's just his mission or what, or just the harm room challenge, but it crashes, literally starts crashing, and I don't like it. So we're gonna try this my way, and see how it goes. Yep. So let's go ahead and do it. Like I said, this is the IronPrime build, 175. Finally got there, y'all. Thank y'all for watching. Thank you for being on the scene with your boy Rebel. Your boy Rebel is officially about to be off the scene onto game mode. I'm about to zone out and get off into it. Make sure y'all subscribe to my homeboys Shatterpoint. That's ZHATTER-G. And make sure y'all Shatterpoint G. So there you go. POINT dash G. Shatterpoint. ZHATTERPOINT dash G. Good gosh. Make sure you subscribe. That's the only way you can. Well, one of the first qualifications you get for the Cash App giveaway is coming this Friday, 1 o'clock Eastern time. So make sure y'all do that. Also, make sure you hit the like button for me if you can. I appreciate it. Thank you for stopping by and watching. If you don't hit it, that's fine. I just thank you for the support. Any love I get, I definitely appreciate it. Also, hit that subscribe button so you always know when I'm about to drop a video or what's going on new on the channel.